or lech lecha. Shh. Okay, let's start the Maimer on page Yud Beis. Shh. First column at the bottom. Okay, the pasuk says, "V'leikari et shimcha Avram." Hashem, when He changed in today's parsha, He changed the name from Avram to Avraham. And the pasuk says, "V'yashimcha Avraham." Your name will be Avraham, ki Avam and Goyim, because you're the father of the multitude of nations. So he says, the Inyan, when did Hashem change His name after the bris? So he says, ki tam lemila. The reason of a milah, why does Hashem make it that we need to do a bris milah? Tichsiv Hashem baro likim lasis. We say in Kiddush Friday night from the end of creation, Hashem created lasis to do. And the Medrash says, what does lasis mean? Lasakin, to fix. Everything Hashem created, He gave us a job to finish it. Hashem created an unfinished world, and He wants us to finish it. It still needs to be fixed, even though Hashem makes obviously a perfect world, but Hashem wants that we should finish the world. Even though Hashem already created a person, He didn't create him completely. In completeness. Like it says in the Medrash, Shashol ala milah dapikoidus, that's about a bris milah. Im chavivihi milah, it says like this. The psukim seem to imply that if you don't have a bris, it's disgusting, meaning by Hashem, a bris milah is very important. So the guy asked, if Hashem wants the Jew to have a bris, so why doesn't He make him born circumcised? Why did Hashem make the person uncircumcised? That we have to circumcise. Let him Hashem make us. Hashem can do it the same way. Make the machines just a little different, and you come out a mold of a circumcised person. And Hashem answered, because it says with Hashem, everything Hashem made it. In the 6 days of creation, Hashem said needs to be fixed, meaning, and like beans, Hashem made raw food. We have to cook it. Hashem could have made the finished cooked food ready to go. Hashem said, no, you gotta finish the job I did. So the same thing, Hashem says, I'm creating a person imperfect, that he should perfect himself. What's the comparison between the mashal and the nimshal? So he says, it's no maimer. The Chazal, the pasuk that says, that Hashem constantly recreates creation. That this creation of ex nihilo from some nothing into something is continuous. And he said, in order to create something in physical, from spiritual and nothing, it cannot be in a regular way. It can only be, I'll explain in a second. You have to separate with the Perechus between the Holy of Holies and the Holies. Meaning like this. You can't come from ultimate Kedusha to ultimate Gashmias just like this. There has to be a tremendous level of tzimtzum, of concealment, of separation, like a Perechus, to cover that separated between the Holy of Holies and the Holy. Because the ultimate revelation of godliness was in the Holy of Holies, in the Kodesh HaKadoshim. But in order for the revelation of the Kodesh HaKadoshim to come into the world, you couldn't just have it come straight, because the world's not ready, a keli, for that level. They couldn't have been through such a powerful revelation. If the ultimate level of Kedusha would be all over the world, then the whole world would be on one level. Right? If the Kodesh HaKadoshim's Kedusha was all over the world, then the world would be on one, and that's not what Hashem wants. It came about through a curtain that separates, which is the Parech, is the curtain. Hamavdul ben Kodesh HaKadoshim, that separates between the ultimate holiest place, Shesham Hayagili Ashchina, which was the ultimate revelation of Shechina. Like the Aron didn't take up any place. It was a combination of above time and time together. And to separate between that, the B'chinas Kodesh u'Pareiches, between the Kodesh and Pareiches, and Targum Unkles. The Targum says, what does Pareiches mean? Parsa curtain. V'kama B'chinas Pareiches hayu Beis HaMikdash and Mishkan. And in Beis HaMikdash and the Mishkan, there are many levels of Pareiches, many different levels of separation. Shekol ishtaushas me'elam ad elam. Because any chain of coming down from Atzilus to Bria, you have to understand, if Atzilus comes into Bria as is, then Bria is Atzilus. So in order for Atzilus to be Atzilus and Bria to be Bria, you need to separate the two. And then from Bria to Yetzirah, if Bria comes down as is to Yetzirah, then Yetzirah is Bria. So it has to be these curtains. Any chain of the worlds from level to level is a demosoch parsa. Through a curtain, mafsig bein kol elam, separating between one world and the next, right? There has to be. Because again, if Atzilus comes down into this world, it's Atzilus. So obviously the Kedusha of Atzilus cannot come into this world. So how do you stop Atzilus' Kedusha from coming into Bria? You put up a curtain, a spiritual curtain obviously, and that doesn't allow the Gilui of Atzilus to come into Bria, or between Bria and Yetzirah. And that's what it means in Mechadish Betuvei. It's constantly renewed. What do I mean new? To create from nothing into something, you need a very big curtain. Because if nothing comes into something, then nothing and something are the same thing. Right? So there's nothing, and to create from nothing, ruchnius, spirituality, holiness, and greatness, bittul, to create yesh, which is opposite of bittul, and physical, you need to have this big yesh miyayin mechitza. And through the curtain, nasa or chodosh becomes a new light, urshal tulda, a light of an offshoot. Meaning like this. We learned already in the past, if you have a light on the table, yes, the closer you are to the light, the more light you have. You go further away from the light, the less light you have. You have less light, but it's the same light. It's not a different light. The same light, a little bit less. When you take a blanket and cover the light on the other side of a blanket is not the same light, a little bit less. It's a completely different type of a light. So therefore, what Alter Rebbe is saying is, the difference, the Chiddush, HaMechadish B'Tuvei, is creating a parsa, becomes Or Chodosh, not the same light of Bria coming into Yitzir, it's a little bit less. Or Atzilus into Bria, it's Or Shol Tuldo, Ve'ein Zem Muhus Or Rishon. It's not at all in the same essence of the first light. Therefore, when it comes down, Nasa 8 parsa. It becomes another curtain until it becomes Gashmias Mamish. Meaning like this. From higher than Atzilus and Tatzilus a curtain. Atzilus to Bria is a curtain. Then finally there's so many curtains, it covers it so much that all you have is darkness. And that's when that's what creating a Gashmias.
Ultimately darkness is creating darkness?
No,
or
you cover the light to
light.
such an extent, there's no God, there's chayshach, you don't see it. There's no ayin, there's no bittul anymore. So all you see is darkness. So you see gashmis, then that's able to create gashmis. But he says, ach yesh kamo, meaning misochim amavdilim. But nevertheless, there's many different levels of curtain. He's going to say, you have a little choil, a little more choil, less choil, more choil. He says, sheyesh a bechina, like for instance, you have like this, Mitzvah Shabbos, Saturday night in Havdalah, or in Atuchan Antonu, which is your thing. Hamavdom and Kodesh L'Chol, we say separates between Kodesh L'Chol, which is Masach Mavdul Gomor, okay? Which is a complete separation between light and dark. Kodesh and Chol is a much greater separation between Holy of Holies and Kodesh, right? Hamavdul ben Kodesh L'Chol is a bigger separation than Hamavdul ben Kodesh HaKadoshim L'Kodesh, like in the base of Mikdash. Veinadema la parsa mafsik ben kodesh and kodesh kadosh zel derech ishtaushtus. Eitzi atzmei shin is gashim the same light itself that became less. V'gam la'achar parsa. Therefore, even after the parsa in the base of Migdash, right? There was the kodesh kadoshim, then you had the pareches, and then you had the kodesh. So it didn't become chol. I mean, even with the curtain, it was still the level of kodesh, not kodesh hakadoshim, but it was still the level of kodesh. Or like we say in between Shabbos and Yom Tiv, hamavdu ben kodesh to kodesh. When Shabbos goes into Yom Tiv, right? So what do we say? Hamavdu ben kodesh to kodesh. There is a havdalah. There's a separation between the kedusha of Shabbos, which is greater, and the kedusha of Yom Tiv is less. But it's not chol. You say hamavdu ben kodesh to kodesh. Just like in the base of Migdash, there was a kodesh hakadoshim, and then there was a kodesh, and there was a havdalah, the pareches between the two. But when you're talking about the separation between kodesh and chol, humosach is a curtain. It covers and conceals the light. That it becomes mamish chol. It becomes or from chayshach. From or it becomes chayshach. It's not stam a separation. So the Rebbe is just explaining. In Ishtaushalis, you need to have curtains between each level. Otherwise, if the earlier level comes into the lower level, then the lower level is the higher level. But he said there's different levels of separation. You can have a separation between Kodesh and Kodesh, which is not at all the same type of separation between Kodesh and Chol. And he said because Ben Kodesh and Chol is Masach as a curtain, Shamaylu Master Ha'od, that it conceals the light, Nifrid Mamish, that it becomes Mamish separate, it becomes Chol. It's not even Kodesh anymore, it becomes Chayshach. Like the chambers of the external evil. That elevate themselves, meaning with Gaiva. To say, like a pirate said, I made the Nile, I'm self-made. In other words, not only is it not Batal Hashem, he comes along and contradicts Elokus. That's the level of Chol. Ella, Shava'at, Machayes, Kulam. It says Hashem gives existence to everything. They call him the God of the God. Mamish. They don't deny a lot of levels of Klippa, like Shituf and things like that. They don't deny the existence of Hashem. They say, yeah, there's a God, but there's other things too along the way. You know, there's God, and then there's other guys, and you know, this. Meaning, say that forever, as Hashem's sustenance, may elam vad elam, from level to level, from world to world, asher bechinas elokeho elikim. It's called God is the God of the gods. So again, there's different levels of avdallah. There's different levels of separation. About this curtain between Kodesh and Chol, or between Yesh Miyayin, right, is not Yesh Miyesh. In Kedusha, you have Yesh Miyesh. It's a lower level of Kedusha. So that curtain is not the same level as between Kodesh and Chol, or between Ayin and Yesh, or between higher than worlds and worlds. I'll put the pots over the heaven, meaning it's a tremendously great concealment between the higher and the lower. Okay, we'll just start. So there's Kodesh to Kodesh and Kodesh to Chol, right? But he says even in Chol, there's two levels. These are all different levels of Kedusha. There's also two levels. There's Chol Gomor. Hey, Chol is the nega that call Alokod Alakaya, which is, so to speak, the different levels of God. Beis is the level of Chulin, Shenasal, Taras, HaKedesh, we call Chol Shemayid. Okay, time of the Beis HaMikdash, for Kodesh, for Truma, Hegdesh, you have to be Tahar. Chulin, the regular stuff, you didn't have to be Tahar. There are certain tzaddikim, the Gemara says, that ate chulin al taras hakodesh. Even chulin, they only ate when they were holy. But it's still chulin. It wasn't truma. They ate it in the level of kedusha, but it was chulin. It was regular food, not truma. Okay. You have chol, and then you have chol hamayid. Now chol hamayid is chol, but it's a holier chol than chol, not in chol hamayid. So even in chol, there's two different levels. You have regular chulin, and then you have chulin shenatzal tarsa kodesh. Avam, 1 second. I can come today, but I have to Uber there and back because I can't. Yeah? No, but I don't have an Uber. You want to? Yeah. So 11 o'clock to leave is good? Yeah, you'll be there? Yeah, for 11 o'clock, and then, okay. You just give him the address and everything, because then.
302?
Yeah, but I don't have it, so.
Your home is 302?
303, North Weatherly. North Weatherly.
Have a good day.
There's a difference between hair with mousse or without mousse. The mousse is Kodesh HaKadoshim. Without the mousse is only Kodesh.
Is this thing still on?
Yeah, sir.